Assalamualaikum everybody. Today is going to be a very short live, I believe. We are finishing up the Quran, chapters 98 to 114. And here we go. 98, the clear proof. Al-Bayyinah. Al-Bayyinah. According to this Madanian chapter, excuse me, hold on. We actually gotta get ahead of myself. Okay. I seek refuge with God from Satan the accursed. There we go. The clear proof. Al-Bayyinah. According to this Madanian chapter, the Prophet was sent so the disbelievers may change their ways and devote their worship to God alone. Those who believe are promised a great reward, whereas those who persist and disbelieve are warned of a horrible punishment. The judgment of the believers and disbelievers is the highlight of the next chapter. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful. 1. The Prophet is the clear proof. The disbelievers from the people of the book and the polytheists were not going to desist from disbelief until the clear proof came to them. A messenger from God reciting scrolls of utmost purity, containing upright commandments. It was not until this clear proof came to the people of the book that they became divided about his prophethood. Even though they were only commanded to worship God alone with sincere devotion to him in all uprightness, establish prayer and pay alms tax. That is the upright way. Fate of the deniers. 6. Indeed, those who disbelieve from the people of the book and the polytheists will be in the fire of hell, to stay there forever. They are the worst of all beings. Fate of the believers. 7. Indeed, those who believe and do good, they are the best of all beings. Their reward is with their Lord. Their reward with their Lord will be gardens of eternity, under which rivers flow, to stay there forever and ever. God is pleased with them, and they are pleased with him. This is only for those in awe of their Lord. Good morning. 99. The ultimate quake. Az-Zalzalah. This Madanian chapter states that all deeds will be brought to light and accounted for on Judgment Day, which is also emphasized in the next chapter. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful. 1. Horrors of the Day of Judgment. When the earth is shaken in its ultimate quaking, and when the earth throws out all its contents, and humanity cries, "What is wrong with it?" On that day, the earth will recount everything, having been inspired by your Lord to do so. On that day, people will proceed in separate groups to be shown the consequences of their deeds. So whoever does an atom's weight of good will see it, and whoever does an atom's weight of evil will see it. 100. The galloping horses. Al-Âdiyât. This Madanian chapter stresses the fact that people will be accountable on Judgment Day for their ingratitude to their Lord. The scene of the people emerging their graves, verse 9, is elaborated upon the next chapter. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful. Human ingratitude. 1. By the galloping, panting horses, striking sparks of fire with their hoofs, launching raids at dawn, stirring up clouds of dust, and penetrating into the heart of enemy lines. Surely humankind is ungrateful to their Lord, and they certainly attest to this, and they are truly extreme in their love of worldly gains. Do they not know that when the contents of the graves will be spoiled out, and the secrets of the hearts will be laid bare? Surely their Lord is all aware of them that day. 101. The striking disaster. Al-Qâri'ah. This Meccan chapter describes the resurrection and the weighing of deeds in the hereafter, followed by the final destination to either paradise or hell. The reason why many people will end up in the fire is given in the next chapter. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful. Fate of the righteous and the wicked. The striking disaster. What is the striking disaster, and what will make you realize what the striking disaster is? It is the day people will be like scattered moths, and the mountains will be like carded wool. So as for those whose scale is heavy with good deeds, they will be in a life of bliss. And as for those whose scale is light, their home will be the abyss. And what will make you realize what that is? It is a scorching fire. 102. Competition for more gains. At-Takâthur. In this Meccan chapter and the next, the disbelievers are criticized for wasting their lives doing things that do not matter in the hereafter. Most importantly, hoarding wealth. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful. 102. 1. The competition, wasted lives. 1. Competition for more gains diverts you from God until you end up in your graves. But no, you will soon come to know. Again, no, you will soon come to know. Indeed, if you were to know your fate with certainty, you would have acted differently. But you will surely see the hellfire. Again, you will surely see it with the eye of certainty. Then, on that day, you will definitely be questioned about your worldly pleasures. 103. The passage of time. Al-Asr. Al-Asr. This Meccan chapter emphasizes that unlike the evildoers mentioned in the next chapter, only those who take advantage of this fleeting life by doing good will be successful in the eternal life to come. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful. Wake-up call to humanity. 1. By the passage of time, surely humanity is in grave loss, except those who have faith, do good, and urge each other to the truth, and urge each other to perseverance. 104. The Backbiters. Al-Humazah. This Meccan chapter is critical of those who slandered others and withhold God's bounties. It is made clear that their punishment in hell is as easy for God as the destruction of the evil force mentioned in the next chapter. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful. 104. The Backbiters. Warning to the defamers. 1. Woe to every backbiter, slanderer, who amasses wealth greedily and counts it repeatedly, thinking that their wealth will make them immortal. Not at all. Such a person will certainly be tossed into the crusher. And what will make you realize what the crusher is? It is God's kindled fire, which rages over their hearts. It will be sealed over them, tightly secured with long braces. 105. The Elephant. Al-Fil. This Meccan chapter recounts the story of Abraha al-Habashi, the Abyssinian, who led the large army of men and elephants to demolish the Kaaba in 570 CE, so pilgrims would visit the cathedral he had built in Yemen instead. However, the armies was destroyed before wrecking Mecca. It is commonly believed that the Prophet was born the same year. 105. The Elephant. Al-Fil. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful. God's protection of the Kaaba. 1. Have you not seen, O Prophet, how your Lord dealt with the army of the elephant? Did he not frustrate their scheme? For he sent against them flocks of birds that pelted them with stones of baked clay, leaving them like chopped up straw. 106. The people of Quraysh. This Meccan chapter is viewed as a continuation of the previous one. The general idea in this Meccan is that the Meccan pagans must be grateful and devoted to God alone for saving the Kaaba from the army of the elephant. Those who are ungrateful to God and unkind to the helpless are criticized in the next chapter. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful. God's major favor to the Meccans. 1. At least for the favor of making Quraysh habitually secure in their trading caravan to Yemen in the winter and Syria in the summer. Let them worship the Lord against hunger and made them secure against fear. Al-Mâ'un, which takes its name from verse 7, condemns the deniers of the hereafter for their lack of devotion to God and lack of compassion towards the needy. In the next chapter, the prophet is ordered to be devoted to God alone and share the meat of his sacrificial animals with those in need. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful, the simplest aid. 107. Al-Mâ'un. Qualities of judgment deniers. 1. Have you seen the one who denies the final judgment? That is the one who repulses the orphan and does not encourage the feeding of the poor. So woe to all those hypocrites who pray, yet are unmindful of their prayers, those who only show off and refuse to give even the simplest aid. 108. Abundant goodness. Al-Kawthar. This Meccan chapter was revealed to reassure the prophet, since the prophet's son died in childhood. Al-As ibn Wa'il, an infamous Meccan pagan, used to say that Muhammad would be forgotten because he had no son to carry his name. Today, Muhammad is the most common name in the world, whereas the name Al-As is barely mentioned. The prophet is ordered to be devoted to God alone, which is the underlying theme of the next chapter. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful. Good news to the prophet. 1. Indeed, we have granted you, O prophet, abundant goodness. So pray and sacrifice to your Lord alone. Only the one who hates you is truly cut off from any goodness. It says, indeed, we have granted you, O prophet, abundant goodness. And then it says, this includes a heavenly river as well as other favors in both worlds. 109. The Disbelievers. Al-Kâfirûn. 109. The Disbelievers. Al-Kâfirûn. It is reported that the pagans offered to worship God alone for 1 year, provided that the prophet worshiped their multiple gods for a year. So this Meccan chapter was revealed, telling them that they will be dedicated only to worship of God until the last breath of his life, which is the highlight of the next chapter. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful. 1. No compromise in worshiping God. Say, O prophet, O you disbelievers, I do not worship what you worship, nor do you worship what I worship. I will never worship what you worship, nor will you ever worship what I worship. You have your own way, and I have my way. Ameen. 110. The ultimate help. An-Nasr. This Medinian chapter was revealed close to the end of the prophet's life, instructing him that once his mission is complete and his message is embraced by many, he should be ready to meet his Creator. A deterring example of those who rejected his message is given in the next chapter. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful, nearing the journey's end. When God's help comes and the victory over Mecca is achieved, and you, O Prophet, see the people embracing God's way in crowds, then glorify the praises of your Lord and seek his forgiveness, for certainly he is ever accepting of repentance. 111. The Palm-Fibre rope, Al-Masad. This Meccan chapter is a warning to Abu Lahab, father of flames, who was an uncle of the Prophet. Both Abu Lahab and his wife Jamil used to abuse the Prophet and deny the one true God, who is described in the next chapter. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful. The fate of an evil couple. 1. May the hands of Abu Lahab perish, and he himself perish. Neither his wealth nor worldly gains will benefit him. He will burn in a flaming fire, and so will his wife, the carrier of thorny kindling. Around her neck will be a rope of palm fiber. Purity of faith. Al-Ikhlâs. Ikhlâs. This Meccan chapter refutes the Trinity, idolatry, atheism, and polytheism, and calls for the full devotion to only one God, who is worthy to be worshipped and whose protection is to be sought according to the next 2 chapters. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful. God's absolute oneness. 1. Say, O Prophet, he is God, one and indivisible. God, the sustainer needed by all. He has never had offspring, nor was he born, and there is none comparable to him. Amen. 113. The Daybreak. Al-Falaq. This Medinian chapter is recited as a supplication to the Almighty against any kind of evil. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful, seeking protection against all evil. 1. Say, O Prophet, I seek refuge in the Lord of the daybreak from the evil of whatever he has created, and from the evil of the night when it grows dark, and from the evil of those witches casting spell by blowing unto knots, and from the evil of an envier when they envy. Amen, amen, amen. 114. Humankind. An-Nâs. Like the previous chapter, this Medinian chapter is a supplication against the evil of human and jinn. This final chapter emphasizes the fact that God is the Lord and the Master of all, and that He is the only one to be called upon for help, which connects full circle with the central theme of the first chapter of the Quran. In the name of God, the most compassionate, most merciful, seeking protection against evil whispers. 1. Say, O Prophet, I seek refuge in the Lord of humankind, the Master of humankind, the God of humankind, from the evil of the lurking whisperer who whispers into the hearts of humankind from among the jinn and humankind. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Guys, we finished the Quran. Let me say the Shahada, hold on. Ashhadu Allah ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. I bear witness that there is no God worthy of worship except God, and I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of God. Ameen. Okay, let me read the comments. I'm sorry, I can't like read the live and then read the Quran because it distracts me. Okay, salam. Ameen, thank you. The elephant. Oh wow, that's beautiful. Incognito. Smallest surah in the Quran and the biggest meaning. Oh, chapter summarizes the entire Quran's purpose. Which one? You just read the last 3 quls and you just finished the Quran. May Allah reward you and accept your dua. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Inshallah, now you have His protection if you didn't before. Thank you guys. So I'm kind of like, I want to start over. Like, all right, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Ramadan Kareem, Ramadan Mubarak. Thank you for tuning in and reading the Quran with me this past 28 days. And God bless you guys. And have a wonderful day. Take care, guys. Eid Mubarak. Oh, yes, Eid Mubarak. All right, guys. Assalamu alaikum.